Hello everybody and welcome back to more MBC action. Today we are here versus the Toronto Talonflames in the top 8 matchup. We have made it through the regular season. We are on the top 8. We finished second place, I believe, in the Sword Division. But regardless of that, I'm not here alone. Fiona, please say hi.
Hello.
That, she literally took me literally. I said, please say hi. She just says hi and then stops talking.
What did you want me to say?
I don't know. I figured, I don't know, hi. Happy to be in top. I don't know, something. It just kind of seemed, it was just kind of dead. But my side of the field here is very decorated with the Raichu, with the sash, the expert belt, and the scarf. Technically two sashes and a belt and a scarf were very decorative. But anyways, Fiona, what do you gotta say?
Different colored sash.
What do you gotta say, Fiona?
So compared to before, they tried to counter team us with
their
their
pickups.
transaction picks.
Oh, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but we actually made a few transactions as well. We picked up Mamoswine and dropped Silvally for the playoffs, as well as the team with the Gmax Cinderace didn't make it, so we just upgraded our Cinderace basically. But go ahead, Fiona.
And what was I going to say? I was going to say something.
They tried to counter team us with their transactions.
Yeah. So the team with Gyarados didn't make playoffs. So they're like, oh, we're gonna pick Gyarados and try to counter team you this way.
Because if you guys remember,
and they have Marowak on their team, which presumably has Lightning Rod.
Yeah, it's gonna have Lightning Rod. they're gonna bring it with Lightning Rod. There's no shock to that.
Yeah. So we decided to prep. We decided to lead the same thing. I think leading the same thing is fine. From what we did before with the Cinderace and the Raichu.
Oh yeah.
But we decided to change our game plan up to have Charm on the Raichu in case the Gyarados gets out of hand.
Yeah, I was expecting honestly just a Tangela Gyarados with a Marowak in the back so they could bluff the fact that maybe they didn't bring it and then potentially switch it in. Because Tangela eats. Like in order to kill Tangela, we basically have to click Helping Hand with our Raichu into our Cinderace because Tangela is an absolute monster.
Yeah.
For some unknown reason, Tangela is an absolute monster.
I mean, Tangrowth is pretty good in OU, and Tangela's good in LC. It's actually banned in Little Cup. Fun fact.
Fun fact. That's good to know. I did not know this actually. But
that's why it's banned, because nobody can break it.
You can't kill the thing. Anyways. These are the things. We figured at this point, with 15 seconds left, we figured we were just both waiting for each other, so we decided to lock in, start the battle. And here we go.
So as we said, we also know the Gyarados side can Dynamax turn 1, so that's what we expected.
Yeah. And I think this was basically just a game of the game plans from both sides, where we're gonna walk in Dynamax and hopefully just run you over.
So they led Marowak, which is a little surprising.
Yeah, and it's surprising because I didn't think they'd straight up lead it. Like, okay, here's how basically the conversation between me and Fiona went here. All right. I basically said, do we airstream? It's basically, do we airstream or do we darkness? We could darkness, but if they protect, we're in a little bit of trouble if they airstream. But if we airstream and they protect airstream, they just straight up lose the game. And we aired on the side of the fact that, hey, they're not going to make a play that straight up loses them the game. And you can make the justification that, hey, they read that we'd go for darkness. But is it really a read if you're risking the entire game on it? I mean, that's a pretty bold read. But anyways, we did decide to lock into darkness here. Fiona, what do you think?
Looking back on this, it was a misplay because Marowak just gets blown up by airstream anyways.
Yeah, because the only way this goes bad is if they're fast whack, and the only way they can be fast enough to outspeed Cinderace at +2 is if they're Jolly, and if they're Jolly, they have no bulk, meaning they're gonna get blown back by an airstream. So
they're Jolly 52. Yeah.
Airstream was definitely the right play on our end. However, we didn't think they'd just risk the entire game on this one turn right here. But that's Pokemon, I guess. So two different play styles, right? Like their game plan was walk in and I don't know how to say.
So I expected a Max Rockfall to come out from
because I figured they'd expect us. There's so many safe plays they had, and this wasn't one of them.
The reason why I expected Max Rockfall is because they predict us to turn into Flying type, and that covers both if we stay to Fire type and if we change to Flying.
Exactly.
So I was worried about that.
Yeah, we
So
do.
that's why we opted to go for the darkness play, but they actually just airstream, which was kind of wild.
Like I said earlier, it's one of those things where that's not a safe play at all, but it paid dividends for them because we didn't expect them to make a play that if we just airstreamed, they literally would have lost the game because we steamrolled them from there. Because we would have
Yeah.
airstreamed the Marowak here, we just darkness the Marowak and Thunderbolt the Gyarados. They both drop. It's a 6v4. The game's over. But we didn't think they'd let us play to that endgame, so we just.
So on this turn, we were like, "Is this turbo whack? Because I don't see any other reason you'd make that play."
Yeah, and there's nothing else. And even at this point, I think if it's turbo whack, we lose.
Mhm.
Like there's no pivoting out of this, sadly. But once again, that turn one, I don't really understand that playstyle. Like it was very, very, very incredibly aggressive. Like I don't know what else to say. Like way too aggressive for me and Fiona's playstyle, and I don't know. This is why I think.
I don't understand that.
And another thing I don't understand is they have a trick room mode. They have a trick room mode. Where's the? Why are you fast whack? I mean, in a sense, yes, it's good prep. I respect the fact that they tricked us with the Marowak, right? And I get that. But what I don't understand is they risked
the play and how they used it.
They risked the entire game on us not clicking airstream turn one, which I don't really necessarily like, and that's why I think playoffs need to be best of 3, right? Because you prep for gimmicks all season. Next thing you know, you make top 3. All of a sudden, you lose on a play like that, right? And it's
also, I'm pretty sure we would have lived that hit if we guarded and charmed the Marowak that turn.
Yes, probably. But once again, we had to gamble. I think at that point we had to gamble they weren't turbo, but. I
mean, I don't think we had to gamble that turn.
I don't know. Obviously, there were flaws in our end, and I'm not trying to discredit anything from the Toronto Talonflames here. They did earn the win. They got the win. I'm not saying anything about that. They made a read and they got it right. I don't think it was a safe read. I strongly disagree with it, but I'm not trying to take anything away from them. Let me just make that clear here before this gets misconstrued.
I just want to calc that actually, because now I'm interested in knowing what happens.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna calc mid-recording. We're gonna find out.
We're gonna calc. Yeah, I'll let you calc. Basically, though,
talk to them.
At this point, we're basically done because they've got a fast whack and a Gyarados. Basically, what I think they should have done was go straight into the Primarina. But then again, they don't know we're Assault Vest here, so we can't protect. Good news is we're bold Assault Vest, so we will take anything from whatever they go for here, unless they double into us. So, I fully expected them just to steamroll off the Primarina side. I don't see a reason why they had to get Raichu off the field. I'm charming them, but as long as Marowak's on the field, I literally can't kill them. Is my thought process, right? So I think here you just pick off Ariana, and we lose the game. You click, what do they have? Poltergeist? You Poltergeist the Primarina, game over. We cannot win from that point. But here they actually decided to kill the Raichu.
Yeah, we would have lived.
We would have lived?
It only does 15 to 17%.
Yeah, we would have lived. That's unfortunate. I think we would just.
Wait, this is fire type Cinderace. 30 to 35.
That would have been really close. That would have been really close. That would have been really close.
Lived on 1 and died to the Life Orb.
Yeah, but dying to the Life Orb at least would have given us. The thing is, guarding also stalls out their max even if we don't live. So I don't know. Guarding was definitely the right play. I think we made mistakes here for sure, but I still don't agree with that turn 1. But besides the point. We're gonna just commentate.
Yeah, I don't understand why they did.
It's one of those.
Both with Marowak anyway. I'm not sure why they didn't bother calcing the live.
I don't know. To me, it's one of those things where I don't think they considered the possibility of what happens if we airstream. But once again, they made a read, and Gumi was actually saying that he was pretty sure we were gonna darkness. Once again, it's a read, but to me, I don't like that read because it's so unsafe. Because if the moment we airstream, they lose turn 1.
Yeah.
Like, you have 6 pieces to this puzzle. Why gamble the entire game on turn 1? You know?
Like, I did expect fast whack. I expected the thing would fall over to an airstream, but I didn't think they'd,
Yeah, but whatever. It's right. Like I said, I'm not trying to take anything away from the Talonflames. They made the read and it worked for them. But it's just one of the things that's really, really unfortunate because they really like in best of 3 we can adapt to this, But we can't adapt to them gambling the entire game on turn 1 in a best of 1, Like, there's nothing we can do. But granted, I don't think we played the best game after that turn 1 either, so really.
Yeah. I agree. I'm trying to look at this. Also, there's a turn coming up where I think we could have won.
I think exactly. I was thinking the exact same thing right now, and I'm gonna bring it up too. But I'll let you talk since you mentioned it first.
So, now they're in a position. We can still bully the Tangela side and get it to a 2v1 no problem here.
Yep.
So that isn't really a concern of them getting tripped from up.
No.
Musharna isn't very offensive.
Even if it were to be offensive, it can't touch the goon right now.
Right. It also can't touch Bristle,
Yeah. Also a fair point.
which is what we have this for. So as expected, you know, they rage powder. Not surprised.
Not surprised by the rage powder. It's gonna be rage powder trick room, and that's not shocking. There's a knockoff just to get rid of that EV light. Not
Yeah,
that
we
it
didn't want to
really matters, but
Mhm.
because Nightshade's doing 100 points of health every time, anyways. That does so little, it's crazy.
Because
Tangle,
this is a lot of HP.
I know, Tangle is broken. And
So-
I believe this is the turn you're gonna mention it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we just get a free KO on Tangela, right? Because Tangela can't kill any of these.
But
And neither can Musharna.
yeah.
Like, they'd have to crit a Leaf Storm. But they go for Calm Mind here, which is an interesting play on their part. I'm not sure why. We have Haze, so that's not really a concern.
yeah, it's not a concern right now, and
So we just pick up the Tangela. We just go for Nightshade, and we go for Fire Punch. They can't really kill us.
but they can do
But they
this.
go for a Sleep Powder, and they connect!
I mean,
Like, come on!
I don't know, like, I don't know. So they're hitting that most of the time, and I think at that point they needed to hit that. So I'm okay with them going for the sleep powder there. That doesn't bother me at all.
Like, if we dodge, we win.
Well, if we dodge, we win. But I mean, we didn't dodge, and it's a 75% chance, so we can't even complain. Nothing to complain about there. It's a little annoying, yes, but I mean, especially after they risked the turn one the way they did. But I mean, hey, they hit it. That's how it happened. I mean, I think this is the turn, though, that I definitely think we should have changed it. I was worried the Tangela might protect, so I told Fiona that we should probably haze instead of just Nightshading the Tangela, because if we just Nightshade the Tangela, we're actually in a decent spot. Because looking at this exactly the way this plays out, we get the haze off, and you're gonna see what happens here in 2 seconds. And the haze, killing the Tangela would have been huge. This is a Leaf Storm from a Tangela. Obstagoon, you are complete trash.
It's in the grassy terrain.
I don't care. I'm an Obstagoon. It's a Tangela.
Tangela has good special attack.
This thing's broken. But
yeah, I wonder if I don't think Nightshade would have KO'd though.
I think it would have been really, really close. I know they have a recording up of it on their end as well. They posted the replay. So I'm going to actually go back and take a look. I will let you guys know when I edit the video. I'll post the amount of health Tangela had.
Something tells me it wasn't at 100 HP.
I'd still like to know, so I will point that out. It'll be like probably a little hover button or just a text of some sort saying how much it has.
Yeah.
Because I am curious to know, and I'm sure in the heat of the moment it would be nice to know too.
So now pick up, we win. That's it.
Yeah. Here I decided we switch to they switch out and we switch out. I switched out because I didn't want Goon to die, and I figured Goon was a good way to deal with Musharna and Fire Punch for Escavalier outside of Trick Room.
It also has Thunder Punch for the Gyarados, and it's faster than it.
Yeah. There was a lot of things that were in our favor if we kept Obstagoon alive. So I decided to make that play, and there's the Nightshade into these Tangela. Obviously, the thing is, basically we can almost come up with the answer to whether it had 100 HP or not because of how much it
didn't.
Didn't KO. Does grassy terrain heal that much? I don't think it does. Meaning it was probably at like 106, 107, maybe 110.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, which is very unfortunate. With that, it just happened to be at 110. Like, come on. But
well, we also hit Sleep Powder.
Here now, the problem is we're stuck in Trick Room, and Escavalier is just going to kill us. So we have to preserve our Mammo Spine because we need the pieces. We can't afford to just lose pieces. Although, should I have let Mammo go down? Because if I let Mammo go down, Obstagoon comes in outside of Trick Room, we could potentially do something. Although Dragology's not really.
Sleeping.
We'd have to wake up. But this is why we decided to let Obstagoon go down, because we can pivot back in Mammo Spine out of Trick Room and we'd be awake. Takes away that variable if we wake up or not. But at that point, we might have had to gamble it.
And now, You
And
can't really do anything.
this play, we're scarfed, right? So I had originally said to Fiona I should rock slide because I'm pretty sure Iron Head will kill me. But we ended up
It
going.
could have crashed into the Escavalier.
I could have icicle crashed the Escavalier anyways, but with what they had in the back, rock slide I think was perfectly fine.
Well, no, that wasn't the thing. The thing is, we wanted to kill.
Dragalge, that's fair.
So we wanted to lock Crash here because at least that has a flinch. So if we wanted, the thing is going to.
I think we should have crashed the Escavalier.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's fair. Because the Dragalge's protecting or switching out, right?
I also didn't expect to actually die to this Iron Head.
What I expected is they just let Dragalge go down and Iron Head the Mamoswine. I knew we'd die, but it's one of the things I didn't expect them to just leave Dragalge on the field and protect. I figured they'd swap Dragalge or let Dragalge go down, and then even if they don't pick up this knockout on Eggs and Ham, they have Tangela coming in as a hard switch-in, for the dead Dragalge. You Rage Powder, kill the Mamoswine, and then Corsola can't 1v5 this or 1v4 this. It's, you know, I mean, we have a Primarina, but it does nothing versus the Tangela, and it does nothing versus the Power Whip Gyarados. Like, there's too much.
Yeah, we have to dodge the Power Whip.
There's too much, and I don't even know if Moonblast kills the Dragalge. That's like that's one good stat is its special defense. So like.
And this thing has regenerators.
Yeah.
So...
We can't even slowly chip it down. We gotta kill it.
Yeah.
And once you see, there you go. It's living again. There's a knockoff that seals the game because the one thing we had was Dead Sea being super bulky, slowly chipping away at these people, slowly chipping away at them. I think we'd probably start going after the Escavalier side because realistically the Rage Powder and him swapping in and out of Tangela isn't really a problem, right? Because they're gonna keep doing that because they want the regenerator.
We can't really do anything.
They gain more health from regenerator. Yeah, they gain more health from regenerator. They're probably gonna play till timer. At this point, it's over. It was over turn 1, or technically turn 2 when we didn't adapt, but. I still don't agree with that turn 1 play.
I don't like the fact that they just risked it all.
I don't like the fact that it's playoff time and you can completely make a
like this.
Completely unsafe play like they did. I know it was a read and I respect that. I'm not trying to once again.
Why make a read turn 1?
Because I'm not trying to discredit. Like I said, I know I'm not trying to discredit them. I don't agree with it. Fiona clearly doesn't agree with it, but I'm saying it's just really odd to me. You have 6 pieces. I don't think you need to go for that. But clearly that was their entire game plan. And I mean, in best of 3, that can't be their game plan, right? So I don't know. I'm very in favor of best of 3 for playoffs rather than just the finals. Like, it also gives you a few best of 3s to get into the best of 3 habit before finals. Like, I think it's a win-win everywhere. And I'm not just saying that. I thought this last season too, even when we didn't even make playoffs. But I'm not saying it's just because we lost this game to an unpredictable, or not even unpredictable, but a very unsafe play turn 1. I'm not saying that because we lost on that. Like I said, I think I thought this for a while now, and it's unfortunate that I didn't think to mention it and maybe implement it for this season until after this happened. But it is a shame, guys. It is a shame that we are going to go down here. I think we had one of the best teams in the league, and I would have definitely loved to take on the Amogus Burnouts in the finals there. That would have been a really hype match because it was kind of, if you guys saw the power rankings up on their channel, it was kind of just us, the Sky Pillars, and them in the top 3 the entire season, and we have a very favorable matchup against Sky Pillars, assuming we pair up with them next week, assuming we win this game. That would have been very favorable for us. So I believe we would have gotten to finals had we taken this game, but besides the point, that's going to be it for the Doesn't Click MBC season, guys, and I wanted to thank everybody so much for showing any support they've put on the series and any support they've put in Doesn't Click whatsoever throughout the course of Doesn't Click's lifetime. And Fiona, you got anything to say here before we wrap this up?
Sorry we couldn't win at all for you guys.
Fiona's just like, sorry, you know Fiona's Canadian when. But I do really appreciate how I don't really regret anything in this game. I still stand by that play turn 1. I don't stand by their play at all. I don't think it's safe whatsoever. But
I don't stand by our play. I think we should have airstreamed.
I think we should have airstreamed too. But like I said, I didn't expect them to make a play that had a losing outcome turn 1. But
yeah,
I'm not going to say anything to that. Like I said, congratulations to the Toronto Talonflames. Best of luck to them in top 4 and potentially onwards. And guys, we're going to get out of here. And I don't know when NBC is coming back. There are plans for another season. And I will once again be recording those as well. So when that happens, it will be back. But Until then, guys, thank you so much for the support, and we will catch you on another day.